All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018 Startup World Cup Finland. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming out here tonight. That feels fantastic. My name is Trent. I am going to be your host. Everyone say hello, Trent. Hi, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you knew this, but this is actually the first time there's been a Startup World Cup in Finland, and we're fortunate to have it produced right here in Tampere. Give it up for the city of Tampere, huh? There were over 62 submissions to be considered for this competition, and they chose the best 8. And so tonight we're going to see 8 pitches. Actually, one of the companies unfortunately fell ill, and they couldn't be here, so we're only going to see 7 pitches. But still, we're going to see the best of the best, and as you probably know, there's a lot at stake. The winner of tonight's competition gets a trip to Silicon Valley where they get to compete for a grand prize of $1 million in investment funding. So let's get some energy so that those people are ready to go. Tonight, as you may well know, it's a presentation of Startup Tampere, and it's a collaborative effort between the City of Tampere, Business Tampere, Tribe Tampere, Tampere Kolme, Y Campus, Pirkanmaan Liitto, and Kauppakamari. They put all this together in 2.5 months. Give them a huge round of applause for doing an awesome job. Now, before we actually start with the pitches, we're going to hear a few words from a couple of people, and I think if our first speaker is ready, please. Her name is Charlotte Danielson. She's the Executive Director of Silicon Vikings, and she's here from Silicon Valley. Make a big round of applause for Charlotte, everybody.
If you're not familiar, there we go. If you're not familiar with Silicon Vikings, we are a 40,000 plus network that connects Nordic and Baltic innovation with Silicon Valley. We are a nonprofit organization that has been headquartered in Silicon Valley for over 20 years with nodes throughout the Nordic and Baltic region, and are very excited to be adding Tampere to that list. So give yourselves a hand of applause there. I have been very impressed with the entrepreneurial spirit and mostly also the amazing collaborative spirit or collaborative energy that exists here in this city. Very amazing. I'd like to thank everyone from the city and the different organizations here that have helped make today possible. We look forward to doing more of these types of events with you to bring you all much closer to Silicon Valley and vice versa, make sure that everyone there knows about the region and all of the great things happening from here. I would also like to take a moment to thank our overall sponsor for the Nordic competition, Lufthansa, who couldn't be here but sends the following greeting. Lufthansa is honored to support the startup community by sponsoring the Silicon Vikings Startup World Cup Nordic competitions. Good luck to all the finalists pitching tonight and to the Finnish winner that will be heading to Silicon Valley to hopefully win the Startup World Cup Global Grand Finale. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the competition.
Thank you very much, Charlotte. It's awesome to have you here. And the next person we're going to have is going to come up, and he knows he's on a very strict 10-minute guideline, because tonight we're keeping things very strict, but he's used to this kind of a thing. Please, from Startup World Cup and Fenox Venture Capital, give a round of applause for Eugene Popegailo, everybody. Eugene.
Thanks, Trent. Thanks, Trent. Hi, everyone. I think 10 minutes will be enough because I didn't drink wine or beer. It's later. Okay, so Fenox Startup World Cup. The Startup World Cup is powered by Fenox Venture Capital Company in partnership with the world's major conferences and tech events, and also with the great support of regional partners and sponsors. In that case, I would like to say special thanks to Silicon Vikings and especially Charlotte for professional approach and for great support for organizing those events here in Finland and in other Scandinavian countries. So, we had a really great events in Sweden and Norway, and I hope that tonight you're gonna select the best startup team, which will present your country and will compete for the main prize of $1 million in investment. So the final will be held in San Francisco on 11th of May. It's just 2.5 weeks away from the final. And hopefully, who knows, your country will be the best and the team, of course. So before we go to the main event, let me just shortly introduce you with the Fenox VC. Fenox Venture Capital is headquartered in Silicon Valley, in San Jose. We have about 18 funds ranging from 20 million to 200 million US dollars. Since 2011, we have invested in more than 120 startups across 3 continents. Currently, we have 88 staff members, and they are located in 7 regional offices, which are in the United States. They're in Japan, in South Korea, in Bangladesh, Singapore, Indonesia, and Belarus. In terms of investments, mostly we are interested in startups which are dealing with the AR, VR, artificial intelligence, robotics, IoT, health IT, mainly those areas of investments. In terms of geography of investments, 60% of funds went to the startups located in the United States, in Silicon Valley, and about 40% went to the Japan and Southeast Asia. Our main limited partners, they're not private people, they're corporates. As you see on the slides, they are well-known companies like Asus, iScene, Nikkei, Sega, Bandai Namco, and others. Right, a few words about highlights of 2017 final. Last year we have gathered a really great speakers, and Steve Wozniak, a co-founder of Apple, was one of them. He just shared his memories and thoughts of organizing the world's the biggest, I think, startup in the world of Apple. And personally, he's a really great person. Like, he took about 45 minutes taking pictures with everyone. So a really nice person to talk. Also, Guy Kawasaki, the chief evangelist of Apple, also shared his top 10 mistakes of entrepreneurs. And if you are interested, you can just pop into the YouTube and find his speech. It's quite interesting. He's always attracting the audience and have all that kind of jokes and interesting stories. So if you haven't seen this one, please go to the website and check. It's quite interesting. Also, we had Damon John, founder and CEO of Fubo, also star of ABC's Shark Tank. Co-founder of Reddit, also was among the keynote speakers, Alexis Ohanian. And you see the final judges, the panel of judges was really great. They were like co-founders and partners of well-known companies like SWC Incubator, Plug and Play Ventures, 500 startups. And names like David Cohen, Tim Draper were just among the judges, the best panel judges you can get. And the winner of last final was the company from Japan, the company called Unifa. The company developed an IoT solution for tracking kindergarteners' mental and physical growth. The second place went to the Open Bionics, the company from Great Britain. The guys developed a robotic arm for the people who lost their limbs. And the third place went to the company from Indonesia, Alishasa. They were solving quite a, I would say, narrow and specific problem, which is not well known, I think, in Western countries, the United States. They're trying to solve the problem of laundry. And apparently, I think the market of the Indonesia is huge. Therefore, judges put them in a third place, just comparing that there's something to win, there's something to earn. Well, 2018, as I could say, for Startup World Cup, we are startup ourselves. It's only second year that we are running, but for this second year we have a really good traction. Say last year we had 15 startups competing in the final from 12 countries, and this year we're going to have 29 companies from 28 countries competing for the main prize. So it's going to be really great. And in terms of traction, we're reaching about 100 million plus people across global startup ecosystem. And we have 100,000 people total live attendees. And of course, it's all powered by Fenox Venture Capital. So far, we went through 20. We started in Sao Paulo in August last year, 31st of August. Since then, we went through 26 regional competitions. So Finland is 27th. We have one more in China and one more in Turkey. And afterwards, the winning team will be competing and joining other 26 startups in a battle for the $1 million prize in investment. Well, this year we expect about 2,500 people to attend, about 200 journalists, and of course 29 startups. The conference will be the first half of the day of 11th of May, and the second half will be competition. So for the first half, we invite a very famous guys who can share their thoughts, their ideas, to give some advices. For this year, we have signed Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn. He'll be with us. John Chambers, former CEO of Cisco and founder and CEO of G2C Ventures, will be among the keynote speakers. Vinod Khosla, the co-founders of Microsystems and founder of Khosla Ventures. Adam Chair, co-founder of Siri, will be with us. Ron Conway, founder of SV Angel, will be among speakers. And Mark Randolph, co-founder of Netflix, also confirmed that he will be at the conference. So, great people, great event, great startups, because I can compare with in Sweden and Norway. They're really strong teams, and it will be interesting to watch how they will progress in the final. And especially for you guys, you are welcome to get an early bird ticket. Just pop into the www.startupworldcup.io and get a 20% discount. Just entering discount code SWC Finland. So get 20% discount on the general admission tickets. Also, we have a call for the volunteers, just to help to prepare all the event. And I just maybe share a small secret. Ani Suzuman, he's a general partner of Fenox VC, so you have a real good chance just to reach him on any question. But I didn't tell you that. Okay, guys, I think this is it from me. The strongest startup will win today, and I hope that you all enjoy this evening, and hope to see most of you in Silicon Valley. Thank you very much.
This right here. All right, thank you so much, Eugene. It's awesome to see how much you guys have been doing and growing in these past 2 years. Speaking of growing, Tampere has been growing insanely. I am an import to Tampere originally from the US, and I've been here for 8 years. It's been awesome to see how much it's been developing, how it's been growing, and how the city is really taking its time and energy to put together events like this. And here to talk a little bit about the city of Tampere is Teppo Rantanen. And as soon as Teppo's done, we're going to introduce the judges. So if the judges want to make their way to the stage. But right now it's time for Teppo.
Thanks, Trent.
All right.
It's really good to see you all here, and I was so happy to hear the opportunity to organize this event here in Tampere. It's a special meaning for me because I'm Stanford alumni myself, and in my last role before I joined the city about a little less than 2 years ago, and one of my main clients was actually the Silicon Valley client, so I went kind of often there to see and meet with people. And I'm totally enthusiastic about this event being held here because I think that Tampere has been a little bit like hidden gem in the startup world. So there's so much happening here, there's so much energy, there's so much good people working around this topic, but we haven't been really loud about what we're doing. So maybe, people don't know so much about us and the startup world, but Tampere has been developing in the last year and a half a very ambitious smart city program, which we call Smart Tampere. And part of that program is to build it on an ecosystem basis. So we believe in ecosystem. We are strong believers in ecosystems. We are strong believers in the whole platform economy. We are strong believers in the value creation in a platform economy. And what we think is the key role, one of the key roles, and that shows in all of what we are doing there, is the role of startups. So we're really creating an environment for startups to flourish, to get their things going and moving here. And I know we're not perfect yet there, so we are developing that as we speak all the time. And there are new things coming up, and the city is doing a lot to improve the kind of conditions, the opportunities for startups here in Tampere. And if you look at the biggest reason why we are so interesting place and so successful place, is look at our universities. Now we have the 3 universities merging together to create this fantastic new Tampere University. And that itself is bringing up a lot of energy with 35,000 students here. Plus, there's a lot of other schools, so all in all, we having 50,000 students in Tampere, which is a lot, and which gives us a lot of that buzz and a lot of that energy. But also because there has been so many historical good things happening here in Tampere in the area of technology. Nokia was the biggest thing here for decades before it's kind of get a little bit smaller right now, but still bringing a lot of energy. And look at the amount and number of companies that have been coming into the ICT world, but also looking at the companies in different sort of innovation, be it service innovation, be it other types of innovation. We as a city, we want to see us being part of that. So that's why we also thought that we want to be a startup ourselves. Well, we are now having a very strong fail-fast culture. We want to do a lot of pilots together with companies, together with startups, and see if they work. If they don't work, well, then just cross over and move to the next one. If they do work, yes, there's a scale-up opportunity, but there's also a huge market out there, not only in Tampere, but we work together with Finnish cities, we work together with Nordic cities. We actually were part of creating a Nordic Smart City Alliance just last year, which will be helping our companies to actually go beyond the borders immediately into the Nordics, and of course throughout the world. So we believe that with this ecosystem thinking, we're actually able to create a very, very strong base for startups to grow here in Tampere. One of the strengths of the ecosystem is also to organize an event like this. So if you think of the short, very short time frame that we got to get this event together, without that sort of a basis, all these names that you can see written here, which have been elementary part of bringing people very fast together, doing a lot of this stuff in incredibly short time, and now we are here with this fantastic venue, fantastic event. So once again, thank you, and I'm happy that Trent already mentioned them in the beginning speech. I don't have to read the whole list, but all of these people who are part of these organizations, wonderful work. So much thank you for everyone being able to get this whole thing together. And we as a city are really, really proud of what happens in Tampere and in the whole Tampere region. So I hope that you are enjoying this evening. I hope that there'll be a lot of I'm sure there'll be a lot of exciting pitches, exciting presentations, and you will get a fun and good part also, just mingling and getting to know each other during the event and later after the ceremonies are over. So once again, welcome to Tampere. Enjoy a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Teppo Rantanen, everybody, from the city of Tampere. Next up, we're going to bring the judges to the stage. So I'm going to introduce them, and they're going to come on stage, and then we're going to get started right after that. So please, welcome to the stage, entrepreneur and business angel, Riku Asikainen. The founder of Vincit, Mikko Kuitunen. Entrepreneur and private investor from Numiranta Holdings Oy, please, Sami Somero. And founding partner and angel investor at Brodius Partner Oy, please, Saga Force, everybody, Saga. And we have 2 other judges who are joining us via live stream from Silicon Valley. If we can pull that up. We have, from VC Intel Capital, Ekta Dang, and Karl Fritjofsson, partner from Creandum. Hey, guys. All right. Welcome. Thanks for being here with us virtually. Let me tell you a little bit about how the pitches and everything are going to go, just so that everyone knows what to expect. We're going to have 3 minutes time to pitch, and then after that, there's going to be 4 minutes for questions and answers. We are going to go to the live judges first for questions, and then after that we'll open it up to our streamed judges coming in from Silicon Valley. And just so that everyone knows, there were, like I said earlier, there were 62 submissions, and they chose, the Silicon Vikings chose the 8 best startups from Finland to pitch their way to Silicon Valley. And of course, remember that prize is $1 million investment. So I'm going to read off. Oh, one thing I almost forgot. Because we're on such a strict timeline, I have here the bell. And I will ring this bell at 3 minutes exactly, so that everyone knows they have to stop talking and they cannot answer any more questions too. All right, so I'm going to read off our finalists before we let them take the stage. We're going to have presentations today from Anaxeus, from Teacher Gaming, Nava, Talent Adore, Ultimate.ia. Unfortunately, Klaned could not be here tonight, but we'll also have Flashnode and Word Dive. So, what do you say? Are you ready to see some pitches? Are you ready to see some pitches? All right, then please welcome to the stage for the first group from Sense of Intelligence OU. I will give you guys a heads up when your 3 minutes begins. All right, enjoy yourselves. So, your 3 minutes begins.
Oh,
now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are you doing? How many of you, by showing your hand, how many of you have a dog or you like dogs? Wow, you're my people. You're my people. Yeah. Okay, we are Sense of Intelligence. This is Toni, the founder. I'm a CMO, Ari, and this is the hero, Bava, obviously. And our company is based on one belief. We believe that all of these technological advancements and digital life should not be limited to serve only the purpose of the human race. So we want to expand that and start thinking about how do we bring that to people, from people to animals, especially dogs and their well-being. So we have I mean, think about it. We have 500 million dogs living with us on a daily basis. We are working with them, and for most of us dog owners, we kind of tend to think them as a family members, best buddies, best colleagues, and we almost care about them more than ourselves in many cases. But there is a universal problem. Has been around thousands of years. These guys cannot communicate. There's no common language. And we are about to solve that problem for good by having a product and a service that kind of let the data speak and the algorithms to translate. So show me the magic, Toni, the audience. So this is a purpose-built multi-sensory technology, and it measures 8 different things, like heartbeat, movement, audio, temperature, and all of that. And it's a wearable technology, and we have also the beautiful mobile application for the users, but that's not the point. We have the data platform, intelligent data platform, that translates all of the data into actionable things. So, and we want to become millionaires. And I'm not talking about money right now. I'm talking about we want to touch the lives of millions and millions of dogs on a daily basis. As we know, in any data platform, the more you have data, the better you can serve the whole community. So we will go on and build a data platform and invite service providers, different industries, researchers, the whole dog community to enjoy the data on that platform. And all of that because we want to start serving these guys, these furry friends, on an individual and personalized level. And that is amazing, and that is unique. Nothing compares. Thanks. Jump!
All right, thank you guys. And questions from the judges, yes.
Right?
All right. So, should I say sit? Maybe,
Woof!
So, no, that was...
Paavo will have the
So,
answers.
yeah, I know. So, any traction, any commercial, applications as of now, or is it prototype only, or how far are you on this?
So the product is ready, and we are about to start the commercial deliveries in September. We've been very busy to build the channel and the distribution. And as we start the business in September, we have already 1,000 retail outlets waiting for this product. We have a couple of global service providers that are serving, I give you the figure, 300 million consumers on a daily basis. And we have 500 clinics, the kind of a professional channel, ready for that. So we believe we can ramp up quite rapidly. So the product is starting to be ready. And
the product is hardware and software product, or?
Yeah, it's the device plus the whole service, the algorithms and all of that. And then there's a monthly subscription. So that's the earning model.
Okay.
So my next question is that how does this differ from what humans wear, a human wearable in comparison to a dog wearable?
Well, it comes down to the technology. To measure, for example, heartbeat from the dog is different thing than from the human beings. There are some tricks to do that. So this is a purpose-built kind of a... But we've been using the subcontractors that are doing for humans as well.
And do you have any IPRs on the way how to configure it into dogs' wearables?
Yeah. Mostly on a software side.
IPRs.
Because the sensor technology is generic, but the software and how all of this is assembled, that's kind of a unique thing. And there's no wearables. I mean, that's obviously a unique thing as well. There are some trackers, but there's no wearable.
How your dog is so calm here?
I don't know. Volume.
By the way, what is your go-to-market strategy? How you're going to sell this?
Well, because like in any platform-based business model, you need to have the volumes. So we are not limiting ourselves to retail only. So we will have our own e-commerce platform. We will utilize service providers, and I'm talking about like global mobile operators, for example, and then the specialized shops. So it's a multi-channel strategy in many ways. Try to get the millions as soon as possible.
So what is the background of the core team?
So the background of the core team, we are very seasoned. We are like almost 50 and feeling the startup. So we have supply chain people, because this is a supply chain thing as well. The technology is developed by former Nokia R&D team in Oulu. So we have been gathering a lot of, there's 15 people as a core team, not employed by the company, but working on this. Very experienced.
Yeah, we have about 40 seconds if there's any questions from the live streams.
Yeah, what's the competition?
Competition. Did I get it right? The competition.
Yes.
Okay. So there are a couple of unique things in here. For example, this is a truly mobile, kind of an IoT connectivity platform we are using here. So it's a truly global. Whereas others are like they're using AT&T network, for example. So that's irritating a lot of consumers because then it doesn't work on T-Mobile network and so on and so on. That's one thing. And then we are building a platform business model. Others are focusing on the pipeline business model.
So that's your 4 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's give a big round of applause from Onyx. It was very great stuff, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well done. All right, and next up, coming to take the stage, we will have Teacher Gaming with 5 more minutes. If my... Nope. I'm sorry, my notes are incorrect. The incorrect order. We're going to have Flash Node instead. Flash Node's coming here. Very good. Sorry about that. All right, cool. Right here. There we go. You've got your timer right there, and your 3 minutes begins now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lennu Keinänen. I'm an award-winning serial entrepreneur, angel investor, and more importantly, co-founder and CEO of Flashnode. We at Flashnode, we are tackling a huge business mostly small to medium-sized companies, productivity problem. In Europe alone, they're wasting $50 billion worth of time on unnecessary tasks related on data moving between different systems. There's few ways to move data around. First one is the labor-intensive copy-pasting. So hands up everyone who has been doing copy-pasting of data between different systems. I think we all have seen that problem. Okay, so that's pretty much eliminated in this case. The next step would be moving data around with different kind of Excel sheets or CSV files or something like that. So those are really error-prone. Make one mistake on the first line and you'll end up with 200 errors in your sales orders, and that's a mess to fix. Next up would be using one-to-one connectors between different systems. Well, these are okay if you are a nerd, can configure them yourselves, and you are able to pretty much understand all the processes needed for that. Or you can hire a team of developers, do the integrations project. Okay, you get what you really need for your business, but it's really expensive and slow. We are taking pretty much the best pieces of all of these and combine them to one single service. That is a turnkey service for connecting your different SaaS services together. What this means is that you can increase your sales, eliminate all the errors in the processes, and do that in as little as 3 days. Our main customers are e-commerce players or pretty much anyone who wants to sell something online. This particular e-commerce seller is saving about $25,000 a year in manual work and fixing those errors because of that. They're paying only 200 euros a month to Flashnote to fix that problem. Accounting agencies are our resellers. They basically are able to sell more, close more deals, and save more than $100,000 each year by eliminating that manual work they would be otherwise doing. We also work together with software developers. So again, they are more able to close more deals and save, because they don't have to do those integrations themselves. They can rely on powered by Flashnote integrations. So that is what we are doing. And I think you're the first ones to hear, but we are just about to open our next funding round. So this would be a good opportunity for all the judges to participate. And if there's any investors there, I would like to tell you a bit more. Thank you.
Very good. And judges, before we go for questions, Charlotte asked if it's okay if we take this round of questions first from the live stream, and then we'll come to you guys. Cool? So if there's any questions from the live stream, judges?
Could you go into the how of it? How is Flashnote helping move the data or, correlation better?
Yes. We understand the business processes related to retail and e-commerce. We basically take a look at how you want to work and create a pipeline of data between those two different systems you may be using. And the settings naturally can be different between the systems depending on what they are.
Thank you.
So if I understand this is kind of a middleware play between systems and making them connect to each other. Is that fair?
Yes, that is fair.
So what are your thoughts in terms of the next generation software that enterprises and small business owners are using, where there are much more mature API protocols to transfer data between various entities? Is your solution more of an integrated play that is used for any companies that have legacy systems where extraction of data is difficult, or can you exist in kind of the next generation of software that is currently being deployed?
Yeah, the big play is definitely with the next generation software. The more APIs are out there, the better it will be for us. So basically there is more data flows needed between the systems. We can also connect to legacy systems using technologies like SFTP and others. So we can take advantage of those as well.
Very nice. And let's take it to the live judges.
Yeah, thank you, Lenu. Who are the main competitors you have?
There's actually quite a lot of competitors. I can basically divide them to two categories. First one are those technology platforms, companies like Zapier, which basically offer a platform that someone can configure them for their business. But who knows to use them? If you have like 5 different business processes you need to support with the integrations, how are you going to get those in sync by yourself? So there's usually no way.
How do you see the scalability outside Finland? What is the go-to-market strategy, for instance, to US?
Yeah. On the kind of a data source side, the e-commerce platforms are pretty much global. So it's the same platform game here and in US and UK. In the accounting and ERP side, there is some localizations needed. There are a few huge platforms that are used across the globe, but there is a lot of platforms that are used locally. So those local ones are the ones we need to kind of build for each market.
You mentioned also about the savings, so that means you also have real clients. Do you have already turnover?
Yes, the turnover run rate we have currently is about 300,000, and we started scaling the business about in the beginning of this year, and the growth rate we have had this year has been 20+% a month.
What kind of pricing model do you have?
It's a fixed monthly fee. The smallest customers pay 79 euros a month, mid-sized companies pay 200 euros a month, and the biggest ones 600 a month.
And what about the team? How big of a team are you?
We have in total of nine people currently. The founders have been working together in a number of companies since 2001, so we have a long history together.
All right, there's only 5 seconds left. Do you have another fast question?
Yes, I just say thank you, and I'm an investor already, so I can't judge this. I think
very good. All right, let's give a round of applause, everybody. Flash node. And judges, if it's okay, we'll alternate rounds. We'll start with the stage judges this time around, and then we'll flip it back and forth every time. Cool? All right. Our next pitch, if everyone looks ready, is Nava, everybody. Welcome to the stage.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Riku, of course. My name is Aki. I'm a founder and CEO at Nava, where our mission is to reconnect humanity with nature. If you think about your yesterday, how many hours did you spend indoors? Majority of you spent 22 or 23 hours in the built environment, breathing the air which is harmful for you. And this is a big problem, especially in global megacities. The indoor air is harmful for your health, and you breathe it 14 kilos per day. And actually, it makes you dumber and infects your productivity a lot. And we believe that the air you breathe is the next global health trend. And we have created this smart, connected green furniture which is designed to purify air. So we're connecting nature, technology, and design. And with these Nava smart green walls, you can clean air. And majority of people think that it is the leaves of plants that clean the air. But actually, it is the microbes that clean the air in nature as well. We have created these patented biofilters through which we circulate air. We activate microbes to clean air, so it's like a wastewater treatment facility, but on indoor air. Every plant is growing in single pots, and these biofilters can effectively clean air from harmful chemicals and adjust the indoor air humidity levels. There's a constant airflow through the system. There's a lot of technology behind it. Everything is fully automated, remotely controlled, and the end result is that people are healthier and happier in the built environment. And this is all driven by AI technology. So we have AI optimizing indoor air quality and humidity from the human health point of view. There's a lot of different use cases. Half of our products goes to meeting rooms where you need to think and be strong on that side. There's space dividers, there's lobbies and retails, and different solutions for our side. This patented system is like 3-in-1 machine. Finnish people like machines. So it's a combination of green walls, air purifiers, and humidifiers. And our goal, again, is to create forest air indoors. Our business model is to serve nature as a service. And it's, on a monthly fee, you can have these all benefits easily. We've been growing steadily during the last years, and 98% of the customers renew our contracts. So they love nature, they love clean air. We have customers like Google and IBM, Samsung and Vincit. As an example, we were one of the fastest growing companies in Inc. 5000 list. We were one of the best places to work in Finland, and Wired selected us the hottest startup in the world. In Finland, sorry. Next year it's in the world. We raised 8 million euros so far. We have a 50 people team in 3 continents. We have huge people behind us. John Nichols was, for example, the global brand director at Nokia.
Sorry, gotta cut you off. I apologize about that. Well done. You slipped that little in the world there. So
yeah. Sorry.
All right. This time we'll take the stage judges first.
Okay, thank you. It was very great presentation, and
thanks.
I love the impression forest as a service or nature as a service, whatever it was. What kind of competition you have in this business?
So we're combining 3 markets. One is indoor air purification, one is indoor landscaping market, and then the third one is office furniture. So there's no other smart green wall in the planet. There are 25 green wall companies, so plants on a vertical structure, and then there's a few companies who are also trying to clean air with microbes.
I have a question. I've seen your walls and they are quite beautiful actually.
Thank you.
But I always wondered how much caretaking do they need? That's the first question.
So that's why we created this artificial intelligence. So if you think about an office, majority of people cannot just take their coffee mugs to the machine or washing machine. So it needs to be fully automated. And the problem with plants in homes and offices is that they get killed because no one knows how to treat them or water them and so on. So everything is fully automated. That's why we are measuring 14 different variables from indoor air and the wall functions to make it automated. So there's an artificial intelligence telling the Naava what to do there, and it's easy as breathing.
But do you need a service organization?
Yes, so we provide full service for that. So we also trim plants and change the biofilters if needed. So we have a sales and maintenance business model.
The green that I really like is the dollar green. What was the sales? It was in thousands, but what was the number?
3 million last year. We've been growing at 76% per year.
Okay. Yeah, that's good numbers. And in which markets is that now?
The majority comes from Finland. We are also in Sweden, and we opened our US operations about a year ago. And we're now testing the Asian market in Korea.
So you do ship internationally already, globally?
Not globally, but in these regions, the Nordics, US, and we just started the Korean testing.
And what are your margins?
Good.
For example, gross contribution.
There are healthy margins also for channel play, both from the maintenance side and from the product side.
That all the questions from the judges on stage? Yeah, one more?
Yeah, just on the sales cost compared to your monthly recurring, that how many months do you have to pay for the sales? Or what's the CAC versus your lifetime value?
Well, the lifetime value is good because this is a forever product in multiple ways. The nature renews.
Plants always die.
Yeah. If you don't have the AI, they will die. And we've been working hard on the technical side.
You're saying that I'm stupid, and that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually,
it's always nice to.
Yeah. But
what's the just on the what's the customer acquisition cost? Is it very expensive now to get the deals, or?
We're pretty agile on the digital marketing side. So 75% of the sales is an inbound sales from that point of view. And now we're just starting half a year ago. We just started the channel play. So we're hoping to do what Martela did. Framery did.
Yeah, it's a different company than Martela.
Yes, Martela. Perhaps not Martela. Sorry if there's Martela people here.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Rick.
All right.
All right, and we have 25 seconds to take any questions from the live stream judges.
Is there an opportunity, do you see an opportunity of geography selection in terms of scaling the product here? So for example, what you might be doing with the product in China will be very different from what you're trying to do in the US.
Yes, so it's not only clean air that we provide, it's also nature. And if we think about global megacities, people have been alienated from nature and they cannot choose the air they breathe. So, of course, in China, for example, the product needs to be, there's more bells and whistles over there.
Speaking of bells, I'm sorry, I let you go 10 seconds over, and I never do that.
Thank
Please give another round of applause, everybody. Thank you very much, Nava. All right, and next round again, we'll start with the live stream judges so that you can get some questions in. But please welcome to the stage our next presenters from Talent Adore. All right, here you come.
Hi.
All right, and your 3 minutes. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Finding the right talent is one of the biggest problems globally currently. Companies have two challenges. One is that they receive too many irrelevant applications, and the other one is that nobody applies to their company. This is actually company's own fault. Their recruitment process is broken. It's win-lose. When 100 people apply for a job, one is selected and 99 end up hating the company. Connection with the potential future candidates is lost. The cost of a bad reputation is as much as 7.6 million for one company. Our virtual recruitment assistant is an AI product. Unlike LinkedIn, our system learns why a person gets a certain job and why not. It is the only tech in the world that at the same time enables fully personalized communication with each job candidates, builds talent communities, and makes the recruitment process true end to never end. At the same time, it enables precisely and timely targeted content marketing and automatically matches candidates with ideal positions. By using our solution, one of our customers working in IT sector has achieved 43% shorter time to fill their positions, obtained 37% more relevant candidates, and spent 25% less money on their hiring. The megatrends are on our side. Bad candidate experience is the only one Glassdoor post or tweet away from becoming viral. People require also transparency of how their personal data is used and processed. We scale via integration-focused partnerships like the one we have with SAP. For enterprises, we sell our solution as an add-on functionality to the existing HR systems. We are providing the solution with a software as a service model. During the past 12 months, our MRR has grown 15% month on month. And since 2017, we have acquired already close to 650 customers. We are a family of misfits. We share the same passion and motivation towards bringing the human touch back to recruitment. We take ownership of our own actions. We are scared of nothing, and we never give up. I have 20 years of experience in growing business in Europe, Asia, and Americas. The brain behind our solution is my co-founder, Joni, who he calls himself Math Magician. We are looking for €1 million funding to scale up our sales, and people who can link us to SAP customers. Thank you.
That was perfect 3 minutes on the dot. And let's start with our judges now from the live streams.
Fascinating idea and a big opportunity. But any AI is only as good as the kind of input data that you feed into it. So can you explore a little bit more what you base kind of the recruiting matching on and really the whole AI engine? And in particular, if you're only basing that upon resumes, there's a lot of behavioral data that goes into understanding if a certain individual is a good fit or not. So how do you feed that into your product?
Okay, great. I hope you can see me. I don't know where the camera is. So first of all, the AI, we have it multiple positions. The first one that we developed is that when you prepare the evaluation of the candidates, so our AI is actually, with natural language processing, is writing the feedback on behalf of the recruiter. So it's basically completely personalized and unique. So what we get there is that we get to know that with a certain profile, these are the evaluations of those candidates, and we get that data. So also what we are now doing is that we also have this matchmaking or what we call recommendation engine that is taking into all the skills and capabilities in the world that exist and looking at what are the backgrounds of the people applying for job, but at the same time we are validating that the job ad itself is relevant. Because in some of the job ads that we have afterwards processed, the best applicant was somebody who can see the future for some position. What it means is that basically some of the job ads are just asking for something that is not at all what actually is needed for the company.
Very nice. There's 2 minutes left if we come to the stage. Yes.
Actually, out of curiosity, have you ever thought of providing the applicants with the same service so they can also use
Yes, so
talking to AI?
Yes. So if we think about eventually what can happen once we have enough data points, so that we actually start seeing that this certain background actually has more probability to get jobs there than somewhere else. And then we can start more like giving also advice for the other party.
Fully automatic after that?
Yeah, it's possible.
How do you sell this product to customers in Finland and outside Finland?
How do we sell it? Okay, so obviously the start of our startup is to first acquire the experience from the customers. So there's a lot of also manual work we have done. So our scaling is currently done in a certain way that with the SMB sector, it's a standalone product that can be sold to any company. So we expand the credibility so that we can work with the enterprise segment. The enterprise segment is with the focused integrations that we now have with SAP, for example. And then we have also partnerships with certain kind of HR system vendors that we integrate to them, and we can be an add-on to their solution so that they can sell actually also us. And we get lots of leads all the time. Every day almost some leads from these partners. And then we kind of take it on. And later on we'll make self-service because it's really like plug and play.
So did I understand right that the product is not like any kind of a SAP add-on? It's
basically it is a full bidirectional integration with the SAP, but also our product can be used for SMB companies as a standalone recruitment system because it automates the whole workflow for the company.
25 seconds left.
So for the customer pain point, now it seems that there are several that you are solving. Which one seems to be the biggest?
One of the pain points is that if you're growing a lot and you don't have enough candidates, and the other one is that you get lots of these irrelevant applicants. And the AI that we have built, actually we can address both of those. And those who are like, how would I say, laggards, those are not our customers. It's more like the strategic recruiting companies.
All right, thank you very much. Give a round of applause for Talentador. All right, and this round again, judges, we'll start with you here on stage. Give you a few moments to finish writing your notes before we bring up our next presentation. All right, next up on stage, we're going to have Teacher Gaming. Give a round of applause for Teacher Gaming. All right, and your 3 minutes starts now.
On the clock.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mikael Uusimäkelä, and I'm the COO at a company called Teacher Gaming. At Teacher Gaming, it is our mission to elevate teaching with the help of video games. And not just any video games, the exact same video games that your children are playing at home. Now, you might be asking, why are we interested in that kind of games? Well, traditionally, educational games mostly help you memorize things. Names of numbers, letters, farm animals. But with the kind of games that your children play, we can go beyond. We can take them on a journey from learning about cellular biology to understanding how our society functions, all the way to building their own spaceships and exploring our known universe. And that's what we have been doing at Teacher Gaming for the past 7 years. We started with a game called Minecraft and brought it to over 15,000 schools all over the world before we sold it to Microsoft back in 2016. Now, with Minecraft and being teachers ourselves, we know how difficult it can be to bring digital games into classrooms. But with our help, teachers can bring the same sense of wonder and motivation that we see in video games in the classrooms, hassle-free. Our product, Teacher Gaming Desk, combines the best games in the world with all of the pedagogical support you would need as a teacher to use games in your classrooms. And we made sure it's super simple from teacher point of view as well. You just pick the topic you want to teach, and we automatically match you with a lesson plan that connects to one of the games in our portfolio. Each lesson plan does 3 things. In theory section, we help you set expectations and learning goals for the lesson. Then, in play section, we give you easy-to-use tools to track what the students are doing inside the game, to make sure they are focused and on task. Finally, in Share and Discuss, we want to bring the students back from the virtual world into the classroom for a discussion where we make connections between what happened in the game and our learning goals. From business point of view, we're doing something interesting as well. The biggest hurdle educational games have faced for decades is low production costs that result in bad and simple games that no one wants to play. Instead, we are bringing games from mainstream media and licensing them on a revenue share model for educational use. That allows us to do the same thing, but at much higher quality, but also at a fraction of the cost. Now, we're not alone in believing in our mission. In this January, we closed our seed funding round of 1.3 million euros, led by a Hong Kong-based VC. We're also working with over 40 games companies from all over the world with a combined player pool of 130 million players. But most importantly, we're also working with 5,000 teachers. And we are seeing these teachers, since going live last July, we're already seeing teachers spend money outside the school budget at the middle of the school year to get these games into their classroom as fast as they can. Your children are already learning tons while they play. We are on a mission to bring that same learning into classrooms. You can join us on our mission to help make the world theirs. Thank you very much.
All right, questions from our stage judges first.
Fire away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to clarify that I understand that
yeah.
you have a mainstream any game, and then you make a special layer on top of it that I would play the game and then I have additional elements into it.
Mostly we just make data points, so we provide transparency for teachers. So what happens inside the game and how that links to curriculum and skills development. So we don't make like specific versions of the game. We mostly put in an SDK that gives us data, and we translate that data back to teachers.
Okay, so would any game be suitable for you on that?
Any games, every game teaches you something, but we are looking for games with curricular connections, so ones that are actually useful in the school context. So whether that's learning about the society or like astrophysics.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now I remember my question. Go ahead. So I was wondering about, especially in the Nordic countries, the schools usually don't have any budget at all, and especially not the teachers are not those who will decide on it.
Yeah.
So how do you plan to get your business model working?
So, I mean, that's the interesting part. We are seeing teachers and schools actually spending money on this. I know they are pressed for money, but even with that little budget, they are spending it on our games. So that's the interesting part. And we already seen, we saw 15,000 schools spend money on our previous product. So we know that there's a big market out there already.
How much did you earn on your previous?
From the exit itself was an undisclosed amount, but we're still doing this, so clearly not enough.
What is the pricing model? Is it something for one student or what?
Yeah, pricing is based on the number of students in a school, but it's a school-wide subscription as well. So we want to reach not just, the nerdy teachers who traditionally use games. We want to go beyond and include every teacher in the platform. But yeah, it's based on the number of students.
Is it for all games or just one?
Right now it's all the games, but we're also exploring the opportunities of doing like subject-specific packages or platform-specific packages. But at this point, it's all the games for one fee. So kind of a Netflix for games in education.
How many paying students you have right now? How many paying students you have? Or
so it's paying schools that we're counting.
What students?
In total, so playing or paying?
Paying.
So we count the schools, but we're seeing about 50 schools who picked it up during the first year. But also, schools spend money basically once a year. So interesting part is going to be in 2 weeks when schools in US are going to close their budget, because that's where the majority of our revenue streams come from.
Where do you, or where are these schools? Are they all in the Nordics, or you have it?
No, US-based. I mean, all of, like, almost exclusively the paying customers that we have are from the US. But we're also actually exploring UK and India right now. And India seems really, really eager to spend money. My CEO is actually right there right now. So Indians seem to be really excited about games. That's news for me.
Have you thought about this kind of business model that the students are paying?
I mean, we have been exploring that for different regions. I mean, especially in Asia, that's a viable model. But in the US and in Western world in general, it seems to be that schools are going to be the ones who are actually providing. But we also do, we do tap into like parent-teacher associations because they often like remedy the budgets because, like you said, schools usually don't have that much money. So we do tap into parents, but indirectly.
We've got 15 seconds if there's any questions left. Yeah, if from the live stream.
So school boards and teachers are both influencers and decision makers, respectively, actually. How are you influencing both of these categories to adopt the product?
Well, students are doing it autonomously already, since we are actually using those games that they play. So when they know that this is actually we could be playing in schools as well, we get a lot of advocacy from students. But finally, one note about the boards, that's one of the ways we spent marketing. We have been working with the top influencers in school boards as well. Thank you.
It's like we have 2 bells. It's wonderful. Thank you so very much. Sorry we ran out of time for that last question. We have 2 more pitches to see. And up next, we have Ultimate AI. Give a round of applause as they take the stage. And your 3-minute time begins now.
Hi, I'm Reetu, the CEO of Ultimate AI, and we AI power your customer service. Today, in customer service, agents are reading through the incoming questions, finding those answers from company documents, and literally just copy and pasting them back to you. This overwhelming workload will result in bad customer service for the consumers, but also brand damage for companies. In fact, in US alone, businesses are losing 1.6 trillion every year due to poor customer service. We have a solution. Meet Super Agent and Botman. We believe that the future of customer service are super agents. So instead of replacing them, we build a deep neural network that will learn from historical chats or email data, integrate to existing contact center solution like SAP that we are a partner of, and start to give real-time reply suggestions, making the agents work faster. We've been able to, with our clients, help them solve cases over 30% faster. And the cool part is, when the agents work with AI, they train our next superhero, Botman. Ultimately, when the AI learns from the humans, it will start to automate those most common conversations completely. With our clients, we've been able to reduce the amount of incoming questions by up to 80%. There's 3 things we're really good at. As a Finnish company, starting with the Finnish language, we built the only deep learning language agnostic solution on the market, scaling across languages for our global enterprise clients. Secondly, we integrate to existing contact center solution, but also to your backend systems, surfacing data wherever it lies. And finally, we're super proud of our human plus machine approach, where we augment the work of agents, retaining the human touch in customer service. Our clients are airlines, they're telcos, they're the government, they come from the Nordics, Germany, and most recently, the British Telecom from the UK. We charge 99 euros per agent per month for our suggestion engine and 36 cents per conversation for automation, both bringing back over 10 times in ROI for our clients. And of course, none of this would be possible without our superhero team. The founders have known each other since the kindergarten, and our team has experience from deep learning, machine learning, NLP, customer service, finance, and of course, sales. So, if you guys share our vision of the future work, send us across the ocean, and we'll let the others know too. Thank you.
All right. With time to spare, let's, actually, I'm sorry, we're going to start with the live stream judges first. Go ahead.
Great stuff. This is This is a space and a product that I think there's a huge need in the market, but it's also very competitive. I know quite a few companies that are doing very similar things to you here. So do you have any vertical focus, or how do you really differentiate yourselves and stand out in this market? How will you become the world leader in this category?
Great question. So, vertical focus, no. We focus on our R&D on the clustering part of it, so we can learn from historical chat data really quickly. We literally can go from 1.5 million email or chat conversation into a trained deep learning classifier basically within a day, meaning we can serve customers horizontally. For your question, there's a lot of like gazillion chatbot companies out there. What they're doing, they're building bots as they used to build apps. It takes 4 months to build a bot, then you need to maintain the bot. We can deploy our suggestion engine within a week, and then it grows accuracy by working with the agents. With one of our clients, we deployed, and within 2 months, we reached 30% in increase in the agent productivity. And to add to that, language agnostic approach, integration to the backend solutions, and being able to scale to other channels like chat and email. That's something that enterprise clients really love working with us.
Very nice. And I think let's take to the stage now.
Yeah, well done. Well done. I'm all,
speechless.
Quiet. Yes, almost, yeah. So, what about the sales process? Is it really SaaS product in a sense that you can really sell it on just online marketing, or do you have to do direct sales on it?
We have 2 go-to-markets. Of course, direct sales is one, and we always start with the suggestion engine. We onboard, let's say, Zalando, they have 2,000 customer service agents. We do a pilot with 100 of them, but actually the onboarding is for everybody, but we limit the licenses, so it's easier to buy. And then we reach our KPIs during the pilot, then we sell the other of the licenses. And also we have partnership go-to-market. For example, for SAP, which is quite a big company from Europe, we are the AI power in their engagement center right now. So we're the only one integrated with them, and we do co-selling with them and also direct selling within their clients.
Okay, yeah, well done. Well done. Yeah.
All right, 90 seconds.
So what are the results? So what are the figures you are having like last year, this year?
So last year we spent a lot trying to understand what the product and scalable version of it is. Our revenues were a bit under 200K. This year we're really finding the growth right now, so we're able to triple to quadruple that revenue for this year, and now focusing heavily on MRR growth.
Did you say that British Telecom was your customer? Or
yeah.
what was
Yeah, it's kind of like a secret still, but
okay.
Not anymore.
But
No,
we had a successful event last Tuesday, and that's our next pilot customer.
How did they find you, and why they chose you?
We actually, they invited us to their BT Tower to pitch for them. They have this big event to invite startups, and this was about public sector digitalization. And actually, I wasn't pitching, our CEO was pitching, and they selected us as a future partner, basically, to work on. So we're going to work with them during the next 6 months.
As the solution is a human plus machine, and it seems to be a quite efficient robot, when does the human know when to get her or himself involved in the customer?
Yeah, so if there's automation involved, the human doesn't know anything, basically. It's all automated. And then when the chat or email comes in, we augment basically the chat box. There's another panel where the suggestions come in. So the human will click the right one, maybe modify it a little bit, and then send back to the consumer.
All right, we're out of time. Thank you very much, Ultimate.ai. All right, we have one more presentation to go. After that, we're going to have a keynote speech, and after that, we'll tell the announcements of the winners. And after that, you're going to stay here and drink and network and talk to each other. So, I've been told to force you into that. So, are you ready to see our final presentation for the night? All right. Our final presentation is from Word Dive. Your 3 minutes begins now.
We all have studied a foreign language at school, but the question is, can we really speak it? Can we actually manage a phone call, a presentation, or a business meeting in that language? WordDive is an artificial intelligence-based mobile app for learning languages. Last year, we developed an AI-based prototype that is able to detect individual pronunciation errors and give specific personal instructions for correcting them. The feasibility of the technology is proven, and the Net Promoter Score of the prototype is already 64, which indicates strong potential for viral spread. The global digital language learning market is expected to grow to 5.2 billion euros by 2020 and to 7.6 billion euros by 2025. The market is still fragmented and wide open. There is no winning solution yet, and our AI-based solution gives us a huge competitive advantage. It takes digital language learning to a whole new level. Our revenue has grown 918% in 4 years. Now the plan is to accelerate, enter to China, and achieve 100-fold revenue growth in the next 5 years. We have used 1.8 million euros of equity to create a cumulative revenue of over 4 million euros. Now we have collected 3.6 million euros of funding for the development and marketing of the mobile app. There are plenty of language learning apps on the market, but our solution for teaching real-life speaking skills takes it all to the next level, and it gives us a huge competitive advantage. Our users are already in love with us, and I think they are going to love us even more once we get the speech recognition and the teaching of speaking skills integrated in our current app. We are a 23-person core team in Tampere, working on the learning material and on the development and marketing of the mobile app. We also have access to the expertise of a group of top researchers of digital signal processing at Tampere University of Technology, which is an international forerunner in artificial intelligence studies. We used about 700,000 euros of marketing media last year to create a revenue of 1.4 million euros. This means that this is a fully scalable digital business with huge potential. Thank you.
I have a feeling you're the hometown favorite. So we have 4 minutes again for questions. Let's start with the stage judges first.
Okay, so your main market is Finland, but you already work outside Finland in several countries. But what are the main markets outside Finland?
At the moment, Germany and Sweden.
What kind of grip you have in Germany or Sweden?
What kind of revenue?
A grip. How many customers or how does it work?
Well, we have a bit more than 400,000 customers all over the world. Obviously the main revenue still comes from Finland, but Sweden and Germany are growing.
The app or also when you say that you learn a language, so have you defined when you have learned the language? I mean, what kind of level are you supposed to have?
Well, the vocabulary on the app, it's like there is vocabulary from levels A1 to C1, so according to this European framework, so you can reach a good level of speaking skills.
And is it in what kind of time are you supposed to reach it?
Well, according to our own service, you can reach fluent language skills in 3 months if you study for 45 minutes in 5 days a week.
That's super. I will at least be using that app.
All right.
So
we still have some time for questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many language pairs do you have? Which languages do you offer?
Well, we have 10 languages to learn, but then we have many more translation languages. It depends a bit on the language. Obviously, like English has the most translation languages as well, about 18, I think.
And when you said that you have 400,000 customers, those are all individual customers that have bought the app, and then you are...
They're not all paying customers, like users.
Okay.
About 17%.
And how many of those are English paired? That one pair of the language is English?
I think English is more than half at least of what we sell. Yeah,
Okay.
it's the major language.
Okay. No?
Have you tried it yourself with just a new, like learning Chinese, or I don't know if you have it, but just to start with a new language?
Yes, I've tried it.
Which one, and how fast did you learn it?
That's a good question. I've been mostly using it for refreshing my kind of forgotten language skills. I used to speak German fluently when I was in high school because I was there as an exchange student, and I forgot it totally, and now I've been using it to refresh that, and I think it's been working well. Yeah.
Very nice. We have just over a minute if we take to the live stream judges for any questions.
What do you think is the stickiness of the product? What is the wow factor in terms of somebody continuing to use it for a long time?
In Finland, the customer lifetime value is, in the web courses, it's more than 100 euros. So we have quite a high repurchase rate. They are happy with the product. 96% of our customers recommend us.
Awesome, thank you.
And 30 seconds still if there's another question.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff that how you differentiate to other people in the market, it seems to be like features that you have, pronunciation recognition and things like that. But to me, the big problem with language learning apps is really the discipline and getting people to actually learn if this is something that is self-triggered. So what are you doing uniquely in that area? Because Duolingo is a fantastic company in terms of its technology, but I think it's also struggling as a business because it simply has too big of a churn long term.
I'll give you 10 seconds to answer.
Well, we use gamification to kind of motivate the learners and to keep coming on the next days as well. So I think we are quite good at that as well.
All right, give a round of applause again for Word Dive. And let's get another round of applause for all of our presenters today. Some fantastic talent here in Finland. Judges, now it's time for you to leave the stage and go and deliberate. Okay, and hey, let's keep the round of applause going for all of our fantastic judges. Great questions. Thank you so very much. And as you guys head backstage to discuss amongst yourselves, we're going to bring up the co-founder of Volt, Juhani Mykkänen, and he's going to talk about 5 important tips for startup entrepreneurs and other influencers to boost their way to fast success. I think he's probably almost on the stage. Here he comes. Big round of applause from Volt, Juhani Mykkänen, everybody. She took the click.
Lads, thanks a lot. Hey, how are you guys doing? I literally can't see how you're doing. It's super bright here. My name is Juhani Mykkänen. I'm here with Volt, and super cool to be here. Already, sorry for a headline, which sounds like I'm going to somehow kind of teach something. Listening to all these pitches here and seeing what kind of people we have, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be too much kind of new stuff that I can kind of share with you. But I still want to kind of share something that I think we at Volt have learned in the first 1 or 2 years of our business. So by a show of hands, how many of you guys have heard of Volt? Cool, quite a few. And how many have you actually used Volt? Awesome, awesome. So basically, this is it. I'm just going to, in the beginning, I'm going to use a couple minutes to kind of make sure everyone knows what we're doing, because otherwise the rest doesn't really make sense. So if you can bear with me. We are a tech company, and we help you discover and get great food from the restaurants in the city around you. And you can do it through our mobile app, through Volt.com, and that's what we do. It's kind of our mission is to help you both discover and get great food. It's not only discovery, we're not Foursquare, it's not only that you get something, because, it's a very usual use case of Volt that you open the app that I just show you, and then you kind of choose what you want. And this is kind of how it looks. So on the left-hand side, you see a list of restaurants around you, and then you choose something. For example, here I'm going to go with that sweet, sweet naughty burger, choose something, and then I'm going to pick if I want to have it Volt delivered, pick it up myself, eat at the table. This is what we do. Our kind of how we make money is that we get is the bell already up? Gee, okay, you've been great. No. Yeah, so we get a commission from the restaurant, and then the customer pays us for every order delivered, basically. And we started with, the usual. This is me and my fellow co-founder, Miki Kuusi, used to be the CEO of Slush, and this is us. Miki is our CEO at Volt, and we're trying to figure out how do we con our way into 400,000 euros seed investment back in 2014. And we somehow managed to do it. This was our first logo. World Enterprises is the official name in the register. Just 1 year ago I learned why the Enterprises, because we had to add something. The Finnish registry can't just take World as a name. So we added Enterprises, and Miki told me just 1 year ago, like 2 years after the fact, that we put in Enterprises because at the time Miki, our CEO, was reading 50 Shades of Grey, and you have Grey Enterprises, and he thought that was cool. Yeah, this is a picture from our first office, just 6 guys in one room here. There's actually like soft ball here, and we're kind of developing tablet gaming, meaning that we're playing ping pong with the tablets and the ball. We got our first shipments of iPads to the restaurants. The restaurants use iPads to receive these Volt orders. And on kind of one hand, like you always hear whenever there is someone on the stage after they've done a company for a few years, that usually means that the company is still up and running. And then you hear all these success stories. So like, yeah, everything's fine and dandy. But that's not the case. Like there's always, every entrepreneur knows, there's always like the good stuff and the bad stuff. So I can give you an example. And the good stuff, it means that, yeah, woo, cool. Like we're now in 20 cities in 7 countries, almost 150 employees, 15 million in funding, 750,000 users, blah, blah, blah. But then, on the other hand, this is still the one hand. So but yeah, you get my point. But then on the other hand, there's been some stuff that, we rarely mention in public, just because, you don't want to see like too amateurish. But for example, like we underestimated the time that it would take to, develop our first version of the product by 6 months, and time to expand abroad by 12 months. 2 times we've been almost bankrupt. There was a time when we couldn't afford to pay our founders at all. I've been on morning TV and radio myself, trying to justify our courier payment model, because at some point we got a lot of criticism of like, are we paying enough for our courier partners who deliver the food? There's been times we have to part ways with a lot of awesome people that we hired, and we were excited to work together, and then for one reason or another we had to part ways. Either it wasn't a fit, or we were in a bad financial spot, or something really shitty. While I was a general manager for Volt Sweden for half a year, and at the time I managed to misconfigure some promotional codes, and we ended up giving 30,000 euros in a matter of 4 hours to local business students and med students and law school students. So yeah, this kind of stuff happens. So what have we learned from all this? Let's go. Number 1. Decide on the big problem that you're solving. Again, I don't want to seem like teaching. I'm sharing what I feel I've learned. I've learned you have to decide on a big problem that you're solving, because usually when you're doing a company, there is a group of you. And when there's a group of you, there's going to be people agreeing and disagreeing on stuff. So, for example, with us, you have to decide what's the big problem you're solving for the customer. What do you think? What could be the big problem for the customer that Volt is solving? What's any ideas here? You can just yell even though you haven't done it before. Hunger. Cool. We got it, the first one. There would be other options, but that's what we went with. Why is that important? Well, that's important because, for example, we have been, there's questions to ask, hey, can you deliver medicine? Or can you deliver doctors? Or toilet paper if I'm out? And if we are solving the problem of you being hungry, then it's very easy to say no, no, and no. And that means focus, and that means you get better at what you do. Also, in the beginning, we were kind of optimizing how do you, not if you're hungry, how do you get rid of the situation in a matter of like 30 minutes? And how can you place an order in 10 seconds? And these were the problems that we were optimizing and solving for. And I guarantee if you're doing a company, some of you are very, we had some companies pitching here who had millions in revenue, and I don't think they even need to win this competition because, it doesn't really make sense in that spot. But so a lot of you guys know this stuff, but still, I think it's super important to be on the same page about what's the problem you're solving. And being an entrepreneur, I think it's, by definition, it means that you are trying to solve a problem for someone else so that they will give you money for solving that problem. And that problem might be like they're bored. For what Netflix is doing, Netflix is solving the problem of you being bored, or you being tired, or you wanting to do something on a date before you start kissing. That's the problem that they're solving. Or like Apple with this stuff, they're solving a problem of like wanting to browse some news while sitting on the toilet. That's a problem that they're solving. You might end up doing a lot of cool stuff which had nothing to do with the original problem. So, for example, what we are doing, which for myself, the biggest benefit of Volt is getting some time back. So how I use Volt is every day at work. I'm usually super busy, so I just take my phone, I choose a restaurant, I hit send, I get some food in like 35-45 minutes. And I get to use all the time doing something else. So I don't have to walk to a restaurant or wait for a bill or go to a shop or like buy some minced meat and cook it on a frying pan or something like that. Which is fine at times, but sometimes I just want to use that time for being tired or being with my friends or working or going to the gym or something else. So if I'm a super Volt addict, so I use Volt 7-8 times a week, which means I get around 3 hours back every week. And that means 160 hours in a year. And if I'm awake 16 hours a day, that means I get 10 more days to my year just from this one silly little app. So that's really cool. Number 2, remember there's 5. Number 2, it's not about the idea. This is something. A lot of people might come to me or some other people at Volt and pat on the back and say, hey, cool idea with Volt. And if I'm like super busy, I say, hey, thanks so much. But if I have time, I say, thanks, but actually it's not about the idea. And here's the thing. There's 5, like all of this stuff is important, but there's been studies on this, especially one really significant study of like 500 different like successful startups in the Silicon Valley, and kind of measuring what's the kind of relative importance of this stuff. What's the most important thing? What's the second most important thing? Is it the idea? Is it the team who's going to be executing on the idea? Is it the timing? Is it the right time to kind of be doing this company? What's the funding situation? And what's the actual execution of the idea? By a show of hands again. No, sorry. By yelling, actually. Just let me know what you think. What is the one most important, number 1 in this study out of this 5? Team. You guys are a team saying team. And that's a great second best answer. What's the first? Timing, execution, yes. Yeah, actually it's timing. Why is it so important? Let's use some examples. Look at, for example, some Finnish successes. Angry Birds. Angry Birds 1 year later, someone else would have like had the spot of like, really successful, easy to play casual game where you manipulate the screen with your finger. Or like, Uber 1 year later, Lyft or Didi Chuxing or like Grab would have like had the market. Or 1 year earlier, there wouldn't be enough, people with smartphones. So timing is super crucial, and you kind of have to nail it. With Volt, our timing is kind of 4 out of 5, I would say. The problem with timing is that you can never tell at the time if you have the right timing. I don't know if you guys paid attention, like all the companies on the stage, not almost all of them, mentioned AI today in their pitches. Why? Because AI is the thing at the moment. Everyone knows it's the right timing for AI, and when everyone knows, it's too late. I'm not saying these companies are too late, because they're already working on it. But right now, if you start thinking of a big AI startup, you better have something pretty unique, because a lot of people have been thinking about AI and machine learning for a couple of years now. But yeah, when it comes to food, for example, this is an example why it's a decent timing for food. You can see how much people spend money on food in the US, $1,400 billion. Half of that restaurants, around 10% of that on takeaway and delivery. Digital spend being $25 billion. By the way, the takeaway delivery is still way larger than Finnish government yearly budget, the measly $55 billion. But so what's good about this picture for Volt? It's the fact that it's not only the digital spend that is growing. That's the obvious answer. But the whole takeaway and delivery bubble is going to be growing. And I am myself a big example of this. I just mentioned I use Volt 7-8 times a week. Before Volt, I used to order 3-4 times a year through a browser. I order pizza. Now I order 7-8 times a week. That is a 100-fold increase on my takeaway delivery spend. 100-fold. So this takeaway delivery thing is going to be growing. We're growing the whole market, companies such as us, because people want convenience, which is affordable. That's why what Uber is doing, it's not just people who are switching from taxi rides to Uber rides. It's also people switching from walking and public transport and cycling to Uber every now and then, because it's affordable and convenient. Number 2, the team was a great answer, because if you ask investors usually put a huge emphasis on team, because that's the one super important parameter that they can actually evaluate. Timing is impossible to evaluate perfectly at the time, but team, you can go through the people, and investors are usually interested in, like, do these guys have the expertise needed? Is this non-overlapping enough, so the guys don't have the same skills? If you are studying, for example, finance, do not start a company with 3 other people who are studying finance. You are going to have a bad time. You're only going to be, you have the same strengths and you're missing on the same points. So if you're studying finance, start a company with someone who's an engineer and then a third person who's a designer, for example. Then you guys are supporting each other and you have what the investors are looking for in a kind of matter of non-overlapping. Also, do not do what these idiots did. Do not start a company with 6 people. You're also going to have a bad time. We were silly to do that because lots of arguments, lots of people disagreeing on a lot of stuff. But then again, the good side was that we had great people. Elias here on the right-hand side, the guy had done 60 iPhone applications before Volt. First person in the Nordics to win an Apple Design Award. Miki grew Slush from 300 people to 15,000 people. Oskar and Lauri, our engineers, back-end engineers, had done a couple of startups before Volt. They had done engineering for Slush. Mika on the left had been designing for famous companies and worked in the best marketing agencies in Finland. So we had there were 5 talented people and me. Then when it comes to execution, number 3, remember, sorry, I'm spitting on you on the first row. So execution-wise, even execution is more important than idea. Why is that? Well, ideas are worthless in a sense. There isn't a marketplace where people are buying and selling ideas. That doesn't happen. Usually, so execution, there's an example here. There was a company who were started at the same time than us. And great guys. I know these guys. They were smart. They were talented. And I wouldn't say like any other reason why we are still around that they are not. Some differences in execution. We got kind of lucky. But I think execution is hugely important. Then number 4 is the idea. And as everyone knows who's done a company, usually the idea kind of changes a bit on the road. We, for example, started with a pickup service only and then added delivery only a few months in, and then we kind of started getting this growth. And when we added delivery, before that we kind of thought that this isn't really getting the traction we want. And when we added delivery, we were growing 13% week over week for 30 weeks in a row. So like 54-fold, I think, in a matter of like a bit more than half a year. And then, funding kind of follows when you have the team, timing, execution, and idea. Number 3 out of 5. Do make something, just something, to trick people into giving you feedback. I think this is super, super important. If I now tell you, hey guys, should we decide a logo for Volt? And I would ask you guys, what kind of logo we want to have? You guys probably would not have, just yelling ideas. This is what's going to be like. But if I show you this, and now I ask you, what do you think? Which one of these is a good idea for a logo for Volt? You probably will have, an opinion. And we could have a poll and see that, the third one from the bottom right-hand corner would be a winner or something. And then we can start developing that idea. And again, we can ask for feedback and we can show this to friends or people in the team. And it's so much easier to talk about this and go that the one on the left is a bit too heavy metal-y and the one on the middle is a bit too Alepa and the right on the right is a bit too Bugs Bunny. And then we start, we keep developing it. And here we're onto something. And if we only combine these two, then we are here. And yes, it's done and it's ready. And now we love it. Do not be afraid that someone will steal your idea. How many ideas have you stolen for someone else? People are super afraid, or not everyone, but a lot of people are somehow afraid if they have a startup idea that someone will steal it. That's very rare. ideas are stolen in a phase where you know, if you have Airbnb and you're operating in the US and it's very successful, then someone will steal it and do a similar thing in Asia or Europe or something. But in a phase when you have just the idea and it's not yet commercially successful, people won't steal it. You just throw that idea out as much as possible to as many people you can without being embarrassed, and get a lot of trick people into giving you feedback about your idea. Number 4, I think this is by far the best concrete thing. When you are building something and you wish people would give you money for it, even though money wouldn't be your main concern, but every company which operates on paying people needs to make money at some point. So my suggestion would be, do not try to figure out what is something that millions of people will love. Just take 10 people you know, and then go to those 10 people one by one and ask them, if I launch this thing next Monday, will you give me money on that day? And I guarantee you, in the beginning, pretty much everyone will say, no, I won't give you money that day. And then that's the thing. Now you ask why. Person number 1, why are you not going to give me money for this? And let's say I'm developing, I'm making a new drink, and I ask you, can I get money from this? And then you say, well, how much does it cost? And I'm like, yeah, it's €5, and it's like... it tastes like olives, and then they say, no, I'm not going to give you €5. It needs to be cheaper, and it needs to be $1.50. And then you go and you tweak the formula, and then you go to the next person and you ask $1.50, and it tastes like olives, and they say, no, I'm not going to have something that tastes like olives. It has to taste good. And then you change, and then after you have 10 people who will say to you, I'm going to give you money. That price you're asking on the day you launch, that means you are really onto something. I promise it's not only going to be those 10 people. And we use this with Volt. We asked people, are you going to be using this product? And we gave it to them to test. And people would say, no, I'm actually, I'm getting anxiety because I don't know how many minutes until the order will come here. So we added the tracking by the minute, or the courier on the map. You can see when your food arrives. Or then my friend would say, well, I wouldn't order because you guys don't have Fafas, and I really want to order from Fafas. So we went to Fafas and got those guys to join. And then my friend would say, now I'm going to order. And then when we kind of launched, we got this feedback from people that we mostly didn't know, and we were super happy that, okay, cool, it's going to be other people than these 10 guys as well who like this. Number 5. Start with smart people, then make yourself look dumb on average. This, I think, is highly important. This is a problem that when you start getting traction, it's highly important you try to raise the average talent level or smartness of your team. It sounds like this is underestimating the original guys, but the point I'm trying to make is that if this is the kind of level of talent in your team, and originally when you start, you have this is the level of problems you're facing, and then you start moving, and the problems are getting actually harder and harder through time. You can imagine the problems that Uber is facing right now compared to when they started originally, and Volt is right now giving examples. Problems getting harder. We were kind of building a product in the beginning that was kind of fun. Gaining momentum in Helsinki was kind of tough, actually. Then when I went to Stockholm and I had to kind of offboard a plane and try to figure out where do I find a team of 10 people who've never heard of Volt, who are super bright and want to work with us, that was really, really, really hard. And now we're solving one of the hardest mathematical problems in the world, vehicle routing problem in real time, matching hundreds of couriers with thousands of orders in real time, and calculating all these routes and optimizing the city every 10 seconds. Like FedEx has time every night to do this for hours, and we have to do it in real time. So this is super difficult. So if we fail at getting smarter and smarter people join the company, what happens is the talent goes here, the problems get harder, and then the problem harder. It becomes so hard that we cannot solve those. So we have to stay on top of that curve, and that's super hard. And I think we've done a decent job, but still, if there's smart people here, please apply it to Volt.com/jobs. Yeah, these days we're doing tens of millions of queries every day, just when we optimize this equation. So yeah, this was us 3.5 years ago. This was us 2.5 years ago. This was us a year and a half ago. This was us last August. And even this picture only has like 60 people, and we are now 150. So it's been super interesting, tough journey. I've been crying at least 7 times, I think. But also there's been like really good spots. We definitely have not made it any, but we're in a spot where we kind of start to know what we're doing. And the kind of lessons here were just some personal learnings from the first year or two. I hope you enjoyed it. And by the way, best of luck to the final for all the companies here. What I want to say is for example, there's one of the judges. I pitched him personally in Slush 2014, and he said, "You guys are never going to make it." So I can guarantee, even though if you don't win today, you still have a chance. There's my info if you ever need anything. I'm there if you have an idea you want to bounce off or anything like that. And if you get Volt, use that code. It's my code. So you use the code Volt, you get free deliveries. I get free deliveries as well. Thanks, guys. You've been very great.
All right, let's give another round of applause for Juhani for that fantastic presentation. Great advice from someone who knows it very well. All right, it is almost time to announce the winners, but before we do that, we're going to bring everyone back onto stage. Let's bring up, please, Charlotte Danielson from Silicon Vikings, Eugene Pobigailo, from Startup World Cup. Let's bring Juhani back on stage as well, as he takes his microphone off, that's okay. And of course, let's bring all of our judges to the stage as well. All right. Rico Asikainen, Mikko Kuitunen, Sami, and Saga. You can come all the way on stage. It's okay. Don't be shy. Let's go all the way over here. Okay. And we have some of the organizers here, and as well from the city of Tampere, we have Timo Antikainen, who just wants to say a few words. Give a round of applause from the city of Tampere. Timo Antikainen, everybody.
Try. Here. Yeah, no, this one. Yeah.
Better?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to thank you on behalf of all organizers and city of Tampere and give you some memory of our city. This event has been amazing for many reasons. We have had great pitches here, but the most amazing thing was probably that we didn't even know 2 months before that we have this event here. So I would like to thank also all organizers and volunteers, but especially our jury, Charlotte and Eugene, coming here to our city. So so warm thanks to all of you, and please give this. For those who don't know, there's something about Moomin which is very unique here in Tampere. We happen to have the only museum in the world of Moomin here in Tampere city, and it will probably remain only one. So it's very startup focused, unique thing.
Well, all right, thank you very much, Timo. Let's give a round of applause for all of our judges and our speakers, everybody. Thank you very much. And should we have them stay on stage, or do you want them to leave? Yeah, okay, you can leave. Let's give a round of applause as they exit. And as they're exiting, let's get all the presenter companies to come join us on stage. Of course, Anaxeos, Teacher Gaming, Nava, Talentador, Ultimate AI, Flashnode, and Word Dive. You can cheer for them as they come to the stage. And as they come up to the stage, I'm going to talk a little... Oh, I forgot about the dog. He was here. As they come to the stage, I'm going to tell a little bit about the prizes, because we know about the main prize, of course, but we also have a couple of other fantastic prizes as well. First up from Mindtrek, third place and second place are going to win tickets to Mindtrek, and the first place team will win the startup package and VIP tickets and accommodation to the 2018 Mindtrek, which takes place in the 10th and 11th of October in Tampere Hall, right here in town in Tampere. It's an international technology conference organized annually in Tampere, which aspires to bring all fields of technology together under one roof and enable people and businesses to learn, meet, and connect. So that's very exciting. Give a round of applause for Mindtrack for being part of this. But wait, there's more. We will also have a prize from Shift, the Shift Business Festival in Turku. First and second place are invited to boost their business in the West Coast. Of course, we know the first is going to the West Coast of the US in the Silicon Valley, and second place is going to be invited to go to Turku, the West Coast of Finland. All right, settle down. And you'll present at the Shift Business Festival. Shift, of course, rounds up professionals and influencers and startup enthusiasts from technology and industry fields and enables conversations and cooperation for the future most interesting phenomena. This year it's held the 22nd and 23rd of May in Turku, but you should still go. It's okay. Very good. And this year's theme, I should mention, is Redefining Normal, and the program will handle the future of humans and technology. We'll also have a prize from Doctual. Doctual Limited is revolutionizing how legal work is done today by introducing automated platforms where everyone can create quicker, easier, and affordable agreements just by answering a few simple questions. All participants tonight are going to get their first agreement for free on Doctual, no matter or not whether you take what place you take. And first place gets free usage of Doctual for the rest of the year 2018. Give a round of applause for Doctual being here, part of this. But wait, there's more. There's more. We also have Digi Rock Stars, and all finalists will get 2 times 30 minutes one-on-one Skype meetings with the founders on how to help them find customers and conduct testings, along with access to their entire knowledge base and software deals and discounts. That from Digi Rock Stars. Give them a round of applause as well. So much. And of course, we know the main prize, the winner from today's Startup World Cup Finland, will be invited to compete in the Startup World Cup 2018 Grand Finale Global Startup Competition on the 11th of May in San Francisco. And of course, we know from there, someone is going to win a $1,000 investment prize. That's true. I actually wrote that. I just couldn't believe it. Yes, 1 million. But that's a lot of 1,000. So, and actually, we have one more prize to announce, and Markus will explain what it is. Here he is. He's hiding behind the wall.
Yep, there's also one more surprise for the top 3 finalists. There's something cooking under the lid in Tampere. So 9th of October, there's a new startup event called Stream, and all the top 3 finalists will get there and get their tickets and admission for that one. So best of luck.
All right, even more prizes. Let's keep a round of applause going. All right, so here's what's going to happen. In just a minute, I'm going to announce the winners. After we announce, we'll go 3, 2, 1 in excitement fashion. And after we announce each one, we'll take a quick photo, and then we'll announce the next one. Sound good? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to find out the winners? I can't read if there's no lights. All right. In 3rd place, please make a huge round of applause for Word Dive. 3rd place, Word Dive. Congratulations. All right. You ready to find out who's in 2nd? Here we go. In 2nd place tonight, Ultimate AI. Congratulations, Ultimate AI. And now, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Yeah, there's no drums, so it's got to be you. Our 1st place winner and headed to San Francisco. Congratulations, Nava. And let's give a big of applause for all of our contestants tonight. Fantastic presentations, fantastic businesses. Congratulations to each and every one of you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to have a few words from the organizers. So if they would like to come on stage real quick and say a couple of final words. Not sure where they are. But don't worry, as we're waiting for them to come to the stage. Are they coming? Yeah, can't tell, maybe? Yes? No? I see half a face. Are you coming? Oh, they're not coming. Okay. Then, oh, they're drinking already. That's why, of course. I have here in my notes, you're supposed to come say something. All right. But I will say that this has been a very fantastic thing for the city of Tampere and an amazing thing for Finland. Congratulations again. Round of applause to all of our presenters today. Wonderful things you guys are doing. And remember, whether or not you won the chance to compete for €1 million or $1 million in prizes, tonight there are, of course, investors in the audience, and of course there's people here who might be hiring. So please, like we said, here will be open until 10 o'clock for you to go get some drinks, mingle, talk to each other, network, etc., etc. And then at 9 o'clock, everyone is invited to the after party at Tribe Tampere, which is at Pininkatu 47. 9 o'clock for food and drinks there. One more round of applause for all of the fantastic presentations. And for Startup Tampere and all of the fantastic people involved, the organizers, the volunteers, thank you very much. That's the end of the stage time, everybody. Good night.